We're going to win this game. I'm confident in that. I fully expect to win every game I've ever competed in. I mean, that's what sports is all about. They're working hard, we're working hard, but yeah, we're clearly planning on going, to Washington to win the game. I mean, there's no doubt about that. You got my money's worth today? I mean, goddamn. Chatty Cathy up here. All right. Thank you.
Chatty Cathy Mike McCarthy stole the headlines on Thursday when he guaranteed a Cowboys win on Sunday against Washington. McCarthy back at the mic today and was asked if he wanted to clarify.
Just like comments that are made, context is important, and I think sometimes that gets lost. But it's irrelevant when anybody thinks about what I said in here yesterday. I was talking about my team. I always coach my own team, and that's where I'm at with it. So we have great confidence what we're trying to do. It was an honest answer to a question from a great group of people.
I really wanted him to just be like, yeah, we're going to win. Just total double down on it. Either way, this game is crucial when you look at the NFC East race and, Washington and Dallas squarely in it. They play each other 2 more times the next 3 weeks or 2 times in the next 3 weeks. What specific matchup in this game, though, are you most excited to watch?
I'm really excited just as a football fan to see how Dan Quinn, the Cowboys defensive coordinator, uses Micah Parsons in this game. Yeah. Parsons, he's almost like a first world problem. He's so good at so many things. Tackling, covering sideline to sideline, rushing the passer. He is already elite. Right. That Dan Quinn has to decide, okay, well, which one of those things do I want to take advantage of, especially with DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory playing in this game. For me, matchup will affect it a lot. Like, we know the Washington football team wants to run the ball. They want to run a lot of short passes, a lot of screens. So in many ways, you do want to use Parsons off the ball where he can impact the play, but you also want to use him situationally as an edge rusher, disrupting the quarterback because he's so good and he can force Taylor Heineke into some of those interceptions that he's been tempting fate with. So I'm just really, really looking forward to seeing how he's deployed in this game, but also every week.
Yeah, MK, that's a great point. I look at this in the same vein, but I think about him being able to close the door on Taylor Heineke when he moves, right? That's what has been so effective for this quarterback is extending plays, ability to get outside of the pocket by time, and doing a phenomenal job. Been a very opportunistic quarterback. This is where I think Micah Parsons will be as effective, especially on third down. Remember, you get Randy Gregory back. DeMarcus Lawrence returned last week. So you are good in the rush area off the edges. Allow Micah Parsons to play in the way of a guy that you just tell, hey, man, third down, track the football. Understanding that coverage and all of that is a part of it, but you have an athletic quarterback who's extended plays and really broke the back of teams by doing so. Allow 11 to track him down. There's not many guys in this league that can run Taylor Heineke down from the linebacker position. 11 is one of them.
Yeah, on the flip side of this, RC, the Washington defense has actually improved since losing Chase Young, and some of those numbers can kind of be shaded however you want to look at it. But how can they wreck this game for Dallas?
It's about creativity. Listen, this offense hasn't been the same since Dak returned from injury. And now you have a banged up Tony Pollard. Ezekiel Elliott is dealing with a knee injury. And you have a quarterback that just hasn't looked right. He hasn't looked comfortable. And the creativity, what I mean is the way that they've used these 3 safeties to create pressure. Now we get fire zone. Now you get full pressure. Now you get 0-man pressures. These were things we weren't seeing early on in the season. Jack Del Rio was a little bit lazy. You just heard me and Marcus talk about Dan Quinn and his ability to use a freak. Well, when Jack Del Rio had his freak, the freaks didn't come out at night. The freaks didn't even come out at 1 o'clock. He was just like, go rush forward and let's see what we want to do. Now with losing him, he's had to get in his bag a little bit, and we've watched this defense improve. How can he affect what they want to do offensively and how Dak Prescott is comfortable in the pocket?
All right, the moment everyone's been waiting for. Let's see who people are picking in this game, and we're going to throw it up on the screen here. Here's no surprise that Marks is going with the Cowboys.
Yes.
So are Mina and I. Look at you, RC. What's going on with that?
Yes.
Well, you know what, guys? Sometimes you got to rock the boat. And I've just been watching this Washington football teams, and teams have momentum. And now teams feel like, you know what? We could play with the Dallas Cowboys. This isn't the first 7 weeks of the season when Marcus was sitting pretty every Tuesday I came in there. Now he's starting to sweat a little bit.
True.
He's having to wear a little anti-shine every Tuesday at 4 o'clock to make sure he could go. So I'm going to go with the Washington football team.
Okay, Marcus was also
How did this
thanking
become
you.
about me?
Because it is about you. It's the Cowboys. Either way, Marcus was actually thanking RC because if you're not aware, there's an NFL Live picks curse, and now we didn't all pick the same team, so the Cowboys probably going to win. All right, let's get Field Yates back in here to get his DraftKings daily fantasy lineup. Field, who made your roster this week?
Yeah, Laura, always good to be on the show with you. And my roster has a bunch of familiar names, and then a couple of names you may not be talking about quite as much as it pertains to your weekly fantasy lineup. But a guy that you should be thinking about in both daily and weekly is Taysom Hill for the New Orleans Saints, priced at just $5,600. Last week, he played bad. He had 4 interceptions. He completed just 19 of 41 passes, and yet he had 20.7 fantasy points. He does not need to play well to have a bunch of fantasy points because of his legs. I do expect him to play well on Sunday against the Jets. Now, another name that you do know, but just not as much this year, is A.J. Green. If you look at the wide receivers and the cornerbacks in this Monday Night Football matchup, we expect the attention paid by Jalen Ramsey to go to wide receivers other than A.J. Green based off of his alignment of the Cardinals offense and Ramsey's typical alignment in the Rams defense. There's some opportunity here for A.J. Green to have a big game on Monday Night Football. A couple other names, Alvin Kamara officially off the injury report just moments ago for the Saints. He's good to go. He's actually priced incredibly well, just $7,900, a bit of a discount because of the uncertainty surrounding his availability. And here's one for you, Austin Hooper for the Cleveland Browns. No David Njoku this week. No Harrison Bryant this week. Obviously, no more Odell Beckham Jr. in Cleveland. That Baltimore secondary is very, very banged up. If you can find some room for Austin Hooper in your daily fantasy lineup, you might profit nicely, Laura.
Live look at me finding some room for Austin Hooper. That's a great one there, Field. We got more coming your way on NFL Live. And coming up next, the 3 biggest games on Sunday when it comes to playoff implications. That's right, we're talking playoffs.
Talk about playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
DraftKings is the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. And this Sunday only, new players can play free for over $1 million in total prizes when you make your first deposit. Download the DraftKings app and sign up with the code NFL Live.